Hello, I'm Fritz Horstman from the Joseph and Annie Albers Foundation. Today we're going to be trying a color experiment in which we make one color appear to be two colors. This experiment comes from a chapter in Joseph Albers' book, Interaction of Color, called A Color Has Many Faces. In this example, we see 6 areas of color: an orange, a brown, a yellow, a blue, another brown, and another blue. Let's look specifically at these 2 browns. Does one seem darker and one seem lighter to you? What do you see? Well, there's a flap that's been put into this so we can actually see that what looks like 2 colors here is only one color. One color appears to be 2 colors. So I've gathered some materials that I found around the house that have lots of colors on them already. So pages from magazines and catalogs, this old glove, some fruit netting, things from the recycling bin that have color on them. Really anything that I could cut up without getting into any trouble makes a good color source here. Also, I have some t-shirts and napkins and placemats and things that have color on them that lay flat that I can use as background colors. Of course, if you have some construction paper, you're welcome to use that, or gift wrap, or really anything that you want to cut up. We're also going to need some scissors to do this. So I'm going to cut some of this into usable material, and then we'll get started. I'm cutting little pieces of color from these pages from magazines and catalogs and from the recycling bin, looking for areas of flat color, where there's only one color. So I'm looking for places that don't have any words on them, or no shadows, or things like that. So in here, I'll be going for this little area here. So there's only the one color. Okay, so I can cut this little square, and then I'm actually going to need 2 pieces of each one, so I cut that in half. And there we go, okay. So it only took me about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to cut all of these. So once you've got a good collection of your colors together, then we can get going with the experiment. Starting just with this dark red napkin next to this gray-blue napkin as our background colors. I'm hoping that we'll be able to find some colors here that will work on top of these to make the single color look like 2 different colors. So I'll start with this purple. Put one piece there and one piece there. So I've surrounded the purple with red here and with light blue here. And what do you see there? Just looking at them, does this one appear to be any different from this one? Of course, we know that they are actually the same purple, but do they appear different? If I put my eyes right in the center, I start to see that this one appears to be a little bit darker, and this one appears to be a little bit lighter. What do you see? But we've got all these different colors here, so we can try some different things. What about this blue-gray? Interesting. What do you see there? I see that these 2 are very similar colors, and so it's a very small difference between the 2, but here there's a really big difference. Do you see that? And how does that make those 2 colors feel? We can also change out these colors. So instead of that red, what if we try this brown? Okay, well, maybe this dark gray will do something interesting there. Okay, yeah, a little bit. I see something. What do you see going on there? I have this blue t-shirt next to this brown placemat. So let's try some different combinations here. What about these 2 blues? Do these 2 colors feel like they're different now? I think so. What about this bright green? Does that work? Interesting. I see something there. What do you see? Does one of them look brighter than the other? Darker than the other? Oh, how about the tips of these gloves that I've cut? Oh, I like that. Right? They're off the same glove, they're the same color, but look how different they look. Or how about the fruit nets? Do they work? That's pretty interesting, I think. Yeah, yeah, look at the difference in how that feels versus how that feels. When they're together, they look like they're the same, but when you separate them, or those two, yeah, this is a really interesting combination. I wonder if we can get more than one to go at the same time. So I see that that's working pretty well. And we remember that this one worked pretty well. Can they work at the same time? Yeah, that's pretty nice. What about another gray? Would that work? Okay, I think we're on a roll here. Let's put a bright one in, see what happens. Oh yeah, look at that, from there to there. Yeah, right, they're the same color, but when they're separated, they appear totally different. How far can we go with this? Let's try a bright yellow. Yep, okay, boy, we're having a lot of success here. And that bright green we had earlier, that one worked. Okay, boy, we've got 6 colors that are changing all at the same time. And they're doing that because of their relationships with the colors in the backgrounds. The great joy of having all of these color samples in front of me is that I'm able to work very quickly and try different ideas, try different colors without having to paint something and let that paint dry. Instead, I can just swap out some different colors. If you're very happy with something that you've made, maybe set that off to the side and try a different combination. And maybe try to ask yourself, well, why? Why is this happening? What am I seeing here? And also you can take this much further. You can experiment with different shapes. Maybe you want more than one color going at the same time.
The possibilities are endless. Thanks for watching.